Hola y bienvenidos a esta presentación. This video will talk about how to form Nosotros commands. Nosotros commands are what are used in Spanish to basically say, let's go, let's play, let's cook. It's when you are part of the group and you are telling the group to do something. If you formed the negative familiar commands and the formal usted, ustedes commands, you're familiar with the process of forming the Nosotros commands. It's the same steps. We take off the O of the yo form. It's important to make sure to conjugate into the yo form. Once we take off the O, we add the opposite Nosotros form ending. So for AR verbs, to tell someone, let's speak, would be hablemos. For comer and salir, comamos, salgamos. We had an AMOS to ER and IR verbs. And to make these negative, you simply add a no before. So let's not talk, let's not eat, let's not leave. No hablemos, no comamos, no salgamos. We have the usual suspects as far as irregular verbs are concerned. There are 5 irregular verbs that end in an O in the yo form. It is even more irregular. This is the only verb that's going to have a different negative and affirmative command. And it has 2 choices when we have the affirmative. To say let's go, we can simply say vamos, or we can say vámonos. And to say let's not go, no vayamos. Estar is estemos, ser is seamos, dar is demos, and saber, sepamos again. Just simply put no in front of these to make them negative commands. We have verbs that end in car, gar, zar to preserve the original sound of the infinitive. For tocar, and any verb that ends in car, we're going to spell it with a Q-U-E-M-O-S, toquemos. Jugar becomes G-U-E-M-O-S, juguemos. So any G-A-R ending verb picks up a G-U-E. And cruzar, any verb that ends in Z-A-R, ends with C-E-M-O-S, no crucemos. So, nosotros commands and stem changing verbs. This is where nosotros commands get more complicated than the others. Most students have trouble remembering all of these details. So, make sure that you're paying attention when you have a stem changing verb. Present tense AR and ER stem changing verbs do not have a stem change in the nosotros command. For example, pensar normally would be pienso, piensas with an IE stem change, a boot verb. But there is no stem change in the nosotros command. It is simply pensemos. Volver, which is a UE verb, usually would be conjugated vuelvo, vuelves in the present tense, does not have a stem change. These do not have a stem change because they are stem changers in the present tense, but they are AR and ER verbs. Again, any AR and ER stem changer in the present tense does not stem change in the nosotros command. Present tense IR stem changers, however, do have a stem change, and there are 2 changes. The E changes to an I, and an O changes to a U. Pedir is an E to I stem changer in the present tense, and it's an IR verb, so the nosotros command is pidamos. The E changes to an I. Dormir is a UE stem changer in the present tense and an IR verb, but it doesn't change to a UE, it simply changes to a U. Durmamos. Here's a list of stem changing IR verbs that you've probably seen in the present tense that are going to fit in this category. So what do we do with pronouns and commands? Debemos comprar la pintura asks, should we buy the painting? And if we want to answer, yes, let's buy it, sí, comprémosla. So when a pronoun is added to the end of a nosotros command, an accent is needed on the third vowel from the end. That is the strong vowel in the third syllable from the end. Comprémosla is how it's pronounced. Should we start the homework? ¿Debemos empezar la tarea? Sí. Empecémosla. So these are affirmative commands. We add the pronoun to the end and count 3 syllables back for the accent mark. ¿Le debemos pedir a Juan? Should we ask Juan? Sí, pidámosle. Yes, let's ask him. This is an indirect object pronoun, but it's done the same way. And finally, should we go to bed now? Sí, acostémonos. When we are using a reflexive verb and we add nos, we drop the S of the command. So rather than saying acostémonos, sounds a little awkward, Spanish speakers are going to drop the S of the command and simply say acostémonos. Same rule applies with the accent mark on the third syllable from the end. With negative commands, no la compremos, no la hagamos, no le pedimos, no nos acostemos. The pronouns go between the no and the command, and we don't have to worry about any accent marks. Practiquemos. Please pause the video if you'd like to try the nosotros commands of these verbs. Tengamos is the command of tener. No tengamos would be the negative version of it. Vivamos is let's live. Let's be, as in telling a group let's be nice, would be seamos. To do the affirmative and negative of ir, remember that there's 2 ways to say the affirmative. Vamos or vámonos. Notice that we dropped the S on vamos when we added the nos. Vámonos. And no vayamos is the negative. Poner is no pongamos. Escribir is escribamos. Salir is salgamos. And a reflexive verb, bañar, is bañémonos. And one more to practice a negative reflexive verb to tell someone, to tell us not to get up, would be no nos levantemos. Gracias por ver esta presentación y te deseo mucho éxito.